Welcome to Q&A practice. Let's get started with the defense attorney. Ready? Here we go. And you'd agree this was well into mid to late afternoon when this happened, right? Right, because I made sure I wasn't home mid-mornings, so I thought he would come by on an afternoon stop. I made sure I was not home mid-mornings on a daily basis. Okay, and did you call the police on May 2007 that resulted in their being there? No, I did not. Did you come to learn why they had been called there? Objection, hearsay, overruled at this point. Did you understand the question? Did you come to learn? Did you learn why they came? I was told. Hold on. Did you learn why they came? Is yes or no? Yes. And did somebody give you notice as to why they had come? The police said they were called. For what reason? Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay. Sustained. May we approach? Offered for the truth of the matter asserted. Notice. All right, ladies and gentlemen, remember my red light example. We're going to have that same discussion. Whatever statements she attributes to this other person is only relevant as it explains why she did or did not do what happened later. It's to show why she may have done something. Whatever is said cannot be considered by you for the truth of the matter asserted, which means that you can't consider the fact that the passenger said red light to prove that the light was actually red. You just get to consider that to see why the driver did what they did. Continue. Thank you. You can answer the question. Do you remember the question? Yes. Okay. It was my understanding that the police received a call because there was arguing at the residence or fighting. Your residence, correct? Correct. My residence. That would be with Tim, correct? Correct. And that would not have been the first time the police had been there due to some disruption resulting from conduct between you and Tim, correct? I'll object as to hearsay. I wasn't able to object, but hearsay again, the same grounds and relevance on the new question. Overruled as to hearsay, sustained as to relevance. Remember in April 2007, police responded to your home? Yes. And had the police responded to your home prior to April 2007? Objection, relevance, sustained. Your Honor, could we approach offer of proof? Yes. See you in chambers. Offer of proof. Offer of proof. Anticipate there will be testimony either by way of her confirming it or independent witness that police had responded to that location many times, that the apartment manager knew about that, and that she was afraid of being kicked out of the residence. Counsel, I don't know what the relevance of that is. I also want to whatever the court wants. Relevance, I don't think that's relevant to the case, except that you've adduced from her the reason that she went and hid in the closet, and her statement that she went and hid in the closet was because of Officer Rice's prior visitation. Counsel is entitled to try to impeach that if he does have witnesses who will testify that she was informed in some way that she was about to be kicked out because the police had arrived. That is a potential alternative basis, provided that he has witnesses that can say that, and a good faith basis for asking the questions. I understand and agree with that. It's the people's own witness, whether I call them, and they can impeach her. Okay, just since we're back here, I want to make a record. My prior objection is to hearsay. Counsel said to show basically what she did next. It wasn't offered for the truth of the matter asserted. Notice is what he said. I'm not sure what that means. That she heard the information. Go ahead. As to why she understood him to be there, like the effect on the listener, state of mind of the person hearing it versus for the truth of it. You're saying it goes to what we talked about now. Goes to this entire understand. The only thing else I wanted to alert the court that I am objecting to. I know it's not in bad faith, but Mr. Johnson quite often says I appreciate that to certain answers that she gives and is making comments after the answers. I just ask that he ask questions and not make comments during the trial. All right, both counsel be instructed to refrain from gratuitous commentary after all questions, so that plays in both directions. I don't want to hear thank yous or oh my's or things like that after the question has been responded to. Having said that, let us deal with the scope of inquiry with respect to this particular issue. What I will not allow is the nature of each of the police calls. What I will allow is, because the basis for this introduction is impeachment for her motivation for hiding in the closet, I will allow questions relating to the police had been there on a number of occasions. We are not going into what the substance of those occasions were. They were not 402'd, and the court has no understanding of whether or not they can be offered themselves for some form of moral impeachment. That having been said, the number of times that police had been called out, whether or not she had been informed that she was in danger of being kicked out, that is the nature of the inquiry. We're not going to talk about whether it was another fight with Mata, Tim Mata, whether it was a fight over drugs or anything like that. The fact that they had been there on a number of occasions, and the fact that she was told by somebody who would be credible to her that she was in danger of being kicked out. Absolutely understood. Sure, that's all I want to go for. Okay. And so if we start getting into the detail of why the police were there each day, I will be sustaining objections to relevance. Sure, and just my offer of proof from the People's Own Discovery from Matt Allen. He provides to them a calendar of police are here on this day, and his own testimony. He's tired of Tim, wants him out. I understand. I'm just ruling on the objection, on the evidentiary objections, and trying to give you some direction so we don't have to come back here again. That's good. Thank you. You're welcome. All right, you may proceed, counsel. I'm going to withdraw whatever my last question was, as I can't remember it. My question to you is, prior to May 30th, 2007, approximately how many times had Omaha police responded to your residence? Twice. You gave some testimony earlier about a gentleman named Matt Allen. Yes. Is that a yes? Yes. He was your apartment manager, correct? And did he ever tell you that he was not happy with police presence at your residence? Objection. Hearsay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, whatever, well, let me see the question first. Whatever her answer is will be allowed for purposes of you to consider whatever effect that answer may have had on her, not necessarily for the truth of the matter asserted. Once again, the fact that someone said the light was red is what's important. You can't use it to prove that the light was actually red. Do you understand the question still, ma'am? Could you repeat that, sir? Here, I'll repeat it. And did he ever tell you that he was not happy with police presence at your residence? I don't remember. We had a lot of conversations, but no, I don't remember. I don't know. Do you know that Mr. Allen didn't want Tim there at the residence? I know, yeah, that Tim and Mr. Allen didn't see eye to eye. Yes. Mr. Allen ever give you notice that he was keeping a log of the number of times that the police arrived at your residence? No. Objection. Hearsay. All right, the last answer may be considered by you only for the purposes of what effect, if any, it may have had on this particular witness. It may not. Well, given what the answer was, that is the court's admonition, so the objection's overruled with that admonition. Do you remember the question? She answered it. She said no. Okay, thank you. And going back to April, sorry to keep switching, but I'm just kind of going in order of your testimony. In addition to yourself, on April 18th, there was someone there named Sarah, correct? And Mark, correct? Correct. And did you want them to be there? I was asked by a friend if they could be there, and I said yes for a couple days. Did their being there cause any problems once Tim returned to the house? No, because Tim wasn't going to return to the house. Tim wasn't going to return to the house. No. Did you want Sarah and Mark out of there on April 18th, 2007? Yes, I did. I did want them to leave. All right, we'll stop there. That will conclude our Q&A practice.